Mass is the ultimate goal of every bodybuilder. You put in a lot of hard work and dedication into the gym. Number one, of course, you're talking your nutrition, then you're talking your training, then you're talking about psych.
Every time anyone sees Pumping On, they will come away, loving the movie.
Hey, we're different. 2017, Mr. Olympian. 10, 2 more, 11.
And I said to myself, how can I sell the idea that I'm a machine that has no emotions?
One and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold's top 3 picks. When it comes to bodybuilding, Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't just another gym bro. Nope, he's like the Yoda of muscles, the Obi-Wan Kenobi of flexing. And when the Austrian oak talks about the greats in the game, you better listen up. So let's dive into Arnold's top 3 picks, the icons who truly defined what it means to be a bodybuilder. First up, we've got Steve Reeves. Now, if you haven't heard of this guy, you're missing out on some serious bodybuilding history. Reeves was like the OG of aesthetics, the original muscle-bound Adonis. And Arnold? Well, he looked up to Reeves like he was the Michelangelo of muscles. Schwarzenegger revered Reeves for his timeless physique and aesthetic beauty. This dude had the kind of body that made Greek gods jealous. He set the standards for what it meant to have a sculpted, chiseled physique, and Arnold couldn't help but pay homage to the man who paved the way for guys like him. Next on the list, we've got Lee Haney. Now, if you were around in the 1980s, you couldn't escape the phenomenon that was Lee Haney. This guy was a beast, and I mean that in the best possible way. He dominated the bodybuilding scene like a boss, racking up Mr. Olympia titles left and right. And Arnold? Well, he couldn't help but tip his hat to Haney's sheer dominance. Haney wasn't just a force to be reckoned with on stage, he was also a stand-up guy off stage, known for his generosity and charity work. So, yeah, Arnold had mad respect for the man who took the bodybuilding world by storm in the 1980s.
Mass is the ultimate goal of every bodybuilder. You put in a lot of hard work and dedication into the gym. Number one, of course, you're talking your nutrition, then you're talking your training, then you're talking about psych. And of course, we're looking at definition that separate the men from the boys. Mr. Olympia should be something grand.
I said, I will shock the world of bodybuilding. That type of they maximize it and take it to a whole nother level. With great trial come great success.
Last but definitely not least, we've got Ronnie Coleman. Now, if you've ever seen Ronnie Coleman, you know why Arnold was in awe of this guy. We're talking about a dude who redefined what it means to be massive. Coleman was like the Hulk on steroids, pun intended. He had muscles on top of muscles, and he wasn't afraid to show them off. And Arnold? Well, let's just say he had nothing but respect for the reigning king of bodybuilding. Coleman's incredible proportions and jaw-dropping achievements earned him a special place in Arnold's Hall of Fame. So, yeah, when it comes to the greatest of all time, Ronnie Coleman definitely gets a nod from the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Every time anyone sees Pumping On, they will come away, loving the movie.
Hey, we're different. 2017, Mr. Olympian. 10, 2 more, 11.
And I said to myself, how can I sell the idea that I'm a machine that has no emotions? And made me the guy that pulls the tricks on him and that wipes out the competition year after year.
Lou Ferrigno. Alright, let's talk about Lou Ferrigno. The guy who brought the Hulk to life? But before he was smashing things on screen, he was flexing his muscles on the bodybuilding stage, just like Arnold. Now, their rivalry didn't start off all buddy-buddy. Oh no, it began with some serious competition. Schwarzenegger and Ferrigno went head-to-head on the bodybuilding stage, battling it out for titles and bragging rights. And let me tell you, things got heated. But you know what they say, iron sharpens iron, and that rivalry pushed both of them to be the best they could be. But here's the thing, despite all the fierce competition, Schwarzenegger and Ferrigno actually ended up becoming pretty tight. Yeah, you heard me right. They may have started off as rivals, but they soon realized they had a lot more in common than just bulging biceps and washboard abs. They shared a bond forged through blood, sweat, and protein shakes. And as they both transitioned from the bodybuilding stage to the silver screen, their friendship only grew stronger. They supported each other's careers, cheered each other on from the sidelines, and even worked together on projects. It was like watching two heavyweight champs team up for the ultimate tag team match. So yeah, while the rivalry may have started in the gym, it definitely didn't end there. Schwarzenegger and Ferrigno's friendship transcended competition, showing the world that even the toughest opponents can become the best of buddies. And that, my friends, is the true power of muscles and mutual respect.
Lou Ferrigno, one of the greatest bodybuilders, a great actor.
Where were you? How did that come to you? And what do you make of that in terms of where you were in your career?
Never again bodybuilding is going to be rated cheaply, but the prize money is going to increase. Now this works in many cases. You have somebody that's sometimes almost near obesity, people that would never work down their life.
It amazed me of what I was willing to do, doing anything that it takes to win.
Frank Zane. Let's talk about Frank Zane, the god of aesthetics, who shared a roller coaster ride of a relationship with none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. These two were like the Batman and Joker of the bodybuilding world. They had their moments of camaraderie, but they also had their fair share of tension. Back in the day, Zane and Schwarzenegger were like two peas in a pod. They both had their eyes set on the ultimate prize, the Mr. Olympia title, and they weren't afraid to go head-to-head to claim it. But here's the thing, their rivalry was more like a friendly game of chess than an all-out war. Sure, they wanted to beat each other, but deep down, they had mad respect for one another's skills. However, all good things must come to an end, right? Well, in 1980, Schwarzenegger clinched the Mr. Olympia title once again, leaving Zane in his dust. And let's just say, Zane wasn't too thrilled about it. That victory created a rift between them, leading to some serious tension in their relationship. Suddenly, that friendly competition turned into a full-blown feud. But here's where things get interesting. Despite their strained relations, Schwarzenegger and Zane couldn't completely cut ties with each other. Their interactions were like a messy breakup, filled with mixed emotions, lingering feelings, and a whole lot of drama. They may have had their differences, but deep down, they still respected each other as fellow warriors in the battle for bodybuilding glory. So yeah, when you look back on the relationship between Schwarzenegger and Zane, it's like watching a soap opera unfold in the gym. They may have had their ups and downs, but in the end, their bond was unbreakable, even if it was a little rough around the edges. Sergio Oliva. Let's talk about Sergio Oliva, also known as The Myth, and the rivalry he had with Arnold Schwarzenegger. These two were like the Goku and Vegeta of the bodybuilding world, constantly pushing each other to new heights in pursuit of greatness. Their rivalry goes way back, all the way to the 1969 Mr. Olympia contest. Oliva was already making waves in the bodybuilding scene with his freakish physique and unbeatable strength. And then there was Schwarzenegger, hungry for success and eager to prove himself on the biggest stage of them all. Oliva's dominance posed a serious challenge to Schwarzenegger. I'm talking a challenge of Herculean proportions. But instead of backing down, Schwarzenegger did what any true champion would do. He stepped up his game. He intensified his training, honed his physique, and sharpened his competitive spirit, all in a bid to dethrone the reigning king of bodybuilding. Their rivalry wasn't just about winning titles. It was about pushing each other to be the best they could possibly be. Every time Schwarzenegger stepped on stage, he knew he had to bring his A-game if he wanted to stand a chance against Oliva, and you better believe he did just that. In the end, their rivalry fueled Schwarzenegger's determination to surpass Oliva and cement his legacy as one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. It wasn't just about winning trophies. It was about proving to himself and the world that he had what it takes to be a true champion.
But I looked at his body and I thought, I am never going to beat this guy. One more year. But tonight is my last contest.
Sylvester Stallone. All right, let's dive into the epic showdown between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, two titans of Hollywood who brought the heat both on and off the screen. Their rivalry wasn't just about flexing muscles. It was about flexing their star power and dominating the box office like no other. Now, you might think their rivalry started in the gym, but oh no, it went way beyond that. These guys were like two alpha wolves competing for the top spot in Tinseltown. From action-packed blockbusters to iconic roles, they were always trying to one-up each other and claim the title of Hollywood's ultimate action hero. But here's the thing. Despite all the competition, there was a mutual respect between Schwarzenegger and Stallone that ran deeper than any rivalry. Sure, they may have thrown a few jabs here and there, but deep down, they knew they were cut from the same cloth. They respected each other's talent, dedication, and sheer determination to succeed in the cutthroat world of showbiz. And you know what? Schwarzenegger credits Stallone for pushing him to be the best he could be. Yeah, that's right. The Terminator himself acknowledges that Sly played a major role in elevating his performances and pushing him to excel in the entertainment industry. It's like they say, iron sharpens iron, and these two definitely brought out the best in each other.
Guys like Arnold and I back 30, 40 years ago, most of the big guys would go into pro football. But Arnold and I were like the two biggest guys in bodybuilding.
Third place from the United States of America, Lou Ferrigno.
It also gave the image of bodybuilders trained with weights only because they want to punch out people.
I think that this one, since I've been part of all three, not as much time as Sly has.
Everybody has to see that because they know it's two indomitable forces.
You're right about that, big fella. Okay, anyway, the nominees, you said, I can't be as bad as you, really.
Think of who are the players, who's going to be your competition, your antagonist, and eventually your buddy in this.
Winner, one and only, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.